Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Kahayas and I'm with Share EO Love. I am a doTERRA wellness advocate, though I do call myself an educator because I find that in the business of direct sales, which is what doTERRA is, that typically there's a stigma. Typically people like to avoid MLMs and it's just a dirty word or a dirty business because they're constantly bombarded by their family and friends to attend parties or to purchase things from them. And while they will purchase from other stores, while they will go online shopping and buy from complete strangers, they don't want to be asked by their family and friends to buy a product from them. They don't want to attend parties or classes that could potentially support a family or friend in their growing business. Now, direct sales is a tough business, guys. This is sales. So how do you turn a doTERRA wellness advocate type of job into something that's not about the sale? Well, that has actually been my goal since the very beginning of when I started this job. Job is a big word, so we'll get there. Back in 2016, for me, I did not start this with the desire to grow a business. I actually never wanted to do this as a business. I used the products for 2 years because I wanted to use the products. But 2 years prior to that, I was avoiding everyone who was asking me to use them. And then periodically I would get introduced to a product, I'd try it, and maybe it worked, maybe it didn't, but I didn't want to be involved because the stigma had gotten to me too. I thought that I had to sell something in order to buy this product at a discount. I had been involved with other multi-level marketing or direct sales companies before, and I did not want that kind of job. It was not the heart of who I am. I'm a person who loves to do ministry and to help people and to mentor so that people can improve and to better their lives. And while you think, if you know doTERRA, while you're listening to this, you're like, Sarah, it fits right in with everything you want to do anyway. Well, I didn't realize that at the beginning. So in 2016, when I was asked to simply host a class, get all my friends and family together so that I could support a friend, sure, no problem. I haven't hosted something like this in a very long time. I'm sure that I'll have some people show up. Well, I did. I had 6 people show up. Every single one of them started their wholesale account that night. And then the next day I had more phone calls of people who said, I'm so sorry I missed it last night. Is it too late for me to get involved? Well, after almost 8 or 9 people had started their wholesale accounts, the person who taught that class asked me if I would like to be the person who helped them, if I would like to sponsor and be their educator, to be the person who actually was the one helping them get to know their products and potentially even starting their own businesses. And I did push it away. I didn't want to do this. So for about a month, I kind of refused. And then I said, all right, fine, I'll give it a try. So September 2016 came around with a new type of process for me. I decided that God was going to do this, right? If I was going to do it, then God had to lead it. I was not going to do this business, just me. So I decided that I was going to just see what happened, and who God provided me, I would take care of. And that meant whether it's just the products because they just need one thing, or whether it was because they decided to go full force in and start their own business. And after a couple of years, I hit some pretty high ranks. I got some really amazing paychecks. But the truth is about these direct sales companies, you have to be consistent with your actions. You have to establish yourself as an expert in that field in order for people to even look at you. And sometimes even then, you have to find your niche inside of that type of field in order for people to trust you and want to come to you rather than someone else. And maybe I did that. Maybe I found a good foothold for myself to have a great foundation of caring for other people. I was being faithful to who God was bringing me. I was showing up to events. I was hosting events all the time. Now, here's the real and, for me, ugly truth about this type of company. Not doTERRA, but just direct sales in general. doTERRA is amazing, so I'll get into that too. But as direct sales, you are only paid based on your commission and other people's purchases. Now, for some of you who have maybe done that type of job before, you're like, oh yeah, that totally makes sense, I can do that. go for it then, because you'll probably love this and you'll get to know so many amazing people. You'll probably actually get somewhere a lot faster than somebody who maybe doesn't enjoy that process. Now, I was familiar with it, but wasn't relying on it for a full-time paycheck ever before. And this was my first time that I actually surrendered a job that I loved in order to do something like this for full-time. And when you have that type of mindset where you're being paid either hourly or salary in order to have an income for your home, this type of direct sales can sometimes deflate your spirit. So the ugly truth for me was that I wasn't making money based on the hours I was putting in. I was putting in a lot more effort than the paycheck was consistently showing. Each month I would work really hard to get a certain amount, and when it boiled down to it, I was maybe making a couple bucks an hour. Maybe. So for some of you, you might be thinking, oh, Sarah, I'm so sorry, but maybe you weren't trained properly. Maybe you didn't have the right team. Maybe you didn't do this, that, or the other. You know what? Chances are you're right. I probably could have done some things differently. And yeah, I probably could have, built up a business in a different way, but I was supported at least the beginning of this. I had teammates that were involved and then fell off. I had one or two people say they wanted to do the business with me, and I'd give them everything I had. I would give away products, I would teach classes, and I would do events, and I would get them into vendor booths. I did everything I knew and I was taught to do at the time. And now I sit here about just over 3 years into the business, and I share this video with you to say that if you are considering a direct sales company, but especially if you're considering doTERRA essential oils, to consider what you want to be paid. If you know you need an hourly or salary wage in order to provide for your home or to feel accomplished, to feel successful, this may not be the company for you or the type of business. But if you absolutely love helping people and you're okay with making a small amount that could potentially increase to a large amount over the course of 3 to 5 or more years, then go for it. But you must be consistent with your action, you must have a positive attitude, and you must remember that the people that come to you need to trust you and the company. Not everything can rest on your shoulders, so provide them with people that can support them. Their friends and family may not know how to teach the way you eventually learn how to teach. It's going to be a process for you to do that. But the truth is that as a wellness advocate with doTERRA, you have an incredible company to work for. You have about 8 different ways that you can make income with this company, and they're constantly evolving and growing that process. You also have an amazing array of products for natural health and things that you can do to support your body. These are some of the best products I've ever had the opportunity to use, to be a part of, or to sell. But sometimes it's just to use them. And I will not go back from using them. I absolutely adore them. They keep my family as healthy as we can possibly be. And I know that they've made a difference for us. I know that they've made a difference for so many other people. But if you're considering this as a business, you must weigh the pros and the cons of the type of business that you're working with. Talk to people who have done doTERRA in a number of different ways and different levels of successes and maybe failures, because you need to understand that you need support, you need consistency, and you need education. You are not just the educator or the expert. There are plenty of other people who have done it better or doing it differently than you. You cannot compare yourself. What you do is you bring your own gifts to the table and you say, all right, God, use them. And then you look at your tree that you develop by bringing people in one-on-one or in groups, sometimes in massive groups and sometimes very Spartan. But you look at those people in the upside down format. As Amanda Beach once said, you flip your tree upside down. Because what we look at within this direct sales company is typically what people don't like, is the pyramid. Well, fact of the matter is every company is a pyramid structure. You always have somebody else at the top who's running everything because they should. And then you have other people doing their other jobs, and some of them make less and some of them make more. That's how business works. So don't let that deter you. This is not a pyramid scheme. You do get paid. You will make money back from your purchases that you make because you're investing about $100 to $150 a month. That's easy compared to rent or overhead of any other kind of business. However, you're using this as a way of doing classes and to educate yourself on new products. So it makes complete sense that you would have that purchase every month when you know the business. But if you're looking at it from the scary pyramid, flip it upside down. You are no longer the person in charge. You are no longer the person who's bossing people around and having to dictate this is what happens. No, if you flip that tree, which is what they call it, a genealogy tree, upside down, sorry, we've got kids in the house, so you're gonna hear some things. I mean, this is real life, right? So what you're gonna do is instead look at your tree from a root structure. If you are at the base and you're part of that root structure, that means you're a support, you're a nourishment for other people. Use that as a means to support the people that God gives you and as a way for you to become successful, not just monetarily, but also in your spirit and what you know to be right as a person. When you're in direct sales, being salesy means that you have to meet a quota, you have to get a certain rank, you have to reach a certain goal every single time you step inside somebody's door or they approach you. When you flip it upside down and you become a support to somebody else's goals, you almost become a coach. You become a mentor. And that's a different heart altogether. So the truth for me about doTERRA Wellness Advocates is that we have to change our mindsets from what we've understood about a direct sales company into what doTERRA actually wants from their wellness advocates. They provide training, they provide resources, and it's important for us to take on the heart of what the company is to give back even before you're profitable, is to understand that the people that we are impacting are not just the ones we meet on a daily basis, but the ones who are doing the grunt work, the ones that are working so hard to provide for their families in other countries, and we get to sell the product that they produce so that they can be taken care of as well. We are in this together, so it can be a process to understand that. If you would like to know more information about me or my crew that we work with so that we can meet the needs of the people in our community and beyond, you can certainly go to my.doterra.com/shareeolove. You can visit me on YouTube for some of my other training videos and education, or my Facebook group, Share EO Love. Guys, I hope that you will consider and prayerfully take into mind and heart all of the things that I've said. And if you have further questions, I'd be happy to talk. I know that anyone who desires to do this kind of business looks for the freedom of their schedule, looks for money to be consistent, and looks for growth quickly. So if you need to get there, there are plenty of people out there on YouTube that you can watch videos for extra education. You can certainly use doTERRA's resources, but ultimately it's up to you. You're your own boss if you do something like this. And when you choose to do something like this, you're gonna have to have thick skin with a tender heart so that you can reach people where they are and still allow yourself to say, you know what, I don't have the answer to that, but I will work with you to find one. And you will eventually get one. Be a part of a team. Ask for help. Watch other videos. Do your research and be consistent with your own actions. And whether or not that money shows it, you will be successful because you know that you've done the work as you have set the goal in your mind and heart to do it. God bless everybody.